All our presentations have different lessons. The lesson from the self-introduction is for you to start to think about what makes you unique or special and potential topics for the future. The three things that we cannot see by just looking at you often represent topics. Just happens to be that way. But you don't have to stick to that. You really don't. I just try to give you some suggestions along the way because I know being creative in this class is a big part, and you're all creative, but sometimes you don't think what you say means something, and it certainly does. You know, when Jackson said that he likes both cats and dogs, I just couldn't help but think that'd be a really great presentation about the benefits and features of both, but it's totally up to Jackson. The self-introductions are coming back. Thank you to Caitlin and David, who so far did resubmit, and that way you can see the student gallery. Tomorrow is Monday, and I'm going to try very hard to resubmit the wonderful presentations from Alexis and Ryan and Alicia and Stephen, Jackson and Kevin. Caitlin and David have already resubmitted, and new Marie and Kyle. What I find that we have in common is that sense of we are working on ourselves and working for our future, which makes sense. Why else would you be at a community college? But take that content and use it for your 4 presentations to come. The next one is the In the News. There's a little video and handout on that. Intro, body, conclusion, and all the good oral communication skills that you just did. Your poise, your eye contact, your posture will go into that. And sincerity, being sincere is huge. I will listen to anyone if I think they're being genuine, and you have been. So just continue exactly as you are. You can change your location. You can go outside like I have done, or you can stay right where you are, wherever your comfort level is. You can bring in guests if you want to. Of course, you always have to let them know for security reasons that this is a presentation a lot of people are going to be watching. They might not want to be a guest on your video. But sometimes people will incorporate their families or their dogs or their cats and let them know you're going to be seen. If they're okay with it, then we're okay with it. But it's totally up to you. And I'm enjoying what you're going to bring into this class. And this is for your time capsule. This is for you to look back and say, boy, in summer of 2024, this is what I spoke about. I just listened to Marie's self-introduction, and she's saying how she gets a little nervous about public speaking because of her accent. I understand how that is. I think most of us do, especially if we have traveled in this United States. New Englanders have an accent. Everyone does. And I had just recently did a presentation in Oregon, and I know, I think people said, what did you say? But then I felt the same way. What did you say? And it's the same country. So that self-consciousness is evident even if you're a native-born speaker, but extra hard if your English is a second language. What I have found with English as a second language students is usually their knowledge of English is even more heightened and more aware and more accurate than mine is. Diction is better, and they understand the syntax so much better than some of the native Americans who have spoken English since they were born. So I would like to, for anyone who is ESL, to know that you have an advantage, not a disadvantage. I was telling Marie that when I was younger, I did my student teaching in Mexico City, and I had a choice to speak at an American school, to do my student teaching all in English, or go to a Spanish-speaking school, and I chose the Spanish-speaking school because that's who I am. I thought I could do this, and I did do it, and I'm very proud of that fact. I spoke Spanish every day and facilitated classes in Spanish, and it took me about 2 months to stop apologizing for my American accent. And every day I say, oh, I'm so sorry. I know I speak like such an American. And every time someone would say, it's really okay, Joyce, we get it. And we're understanding you quite well. So do not feel that. But we do feel that. We want to blend in. So I want you to know that if that's something you're thinking is a problem, just be who you are. And we as the audience members will meet you more than halfway. That is the responsibility in oral communication. The speaker has the responsibility to send out the message, but the listener has the responsibility to decode the message and to work hard at understanding what is being said and not instantly dismiss something because it's having given you a challenge. That's not getting to the core. Also knowing that being perfect is not the name of the game. It really isn't. You are perfectly imperfect just the way you are. So let that go too. Also, what you probably already understand is that strong connection between written communication and oral communication. So many of you already have the basis of this class down. Introduction, body, conclusion, just like in written communication. So the similarities are there. But we have more fluidity and we have more a dynamic in oral communication, and it's really much more forgiving. So let that fly and enjoy your sound of your voice. That's what the self-introduction was for you to hear yourself, for you to think I can connect it to a message through orally and not always through the written word. Let's see what else I have here. A work ethic is important in this class. Your willingness to keep up with the assignments, your willingness to participate in the discussion boards. Next week, discussion board, the first two discussion boards, one is going to be from Amy Cuddy, who's a social psychologist from Harvard of all places, and she's going to be talking about the power of body language, not just body language for others, but for yourself too. And also Julian Treasure, who's going to be talking about the importance of listening. And one thing he says is that no one will listen to someone if they're too negative for too long. So please take both of those in. It's not anything you have to do with these videos, except, which is important, participate in the discussion boards. And you'll never be asked actual information from any one of them. So no memory is involved in this. It's all application. At the end of the semester, our final exam is going to reflect on 3 parts of this class. One on the discussion boards, one on the journals, and one on your own experience. And in each case, the question is going to be very subjective of what you felt about what you took away from this class. So very, very individual. Now, speaking of the journals, you will going to be asked to do a journal on the In the News, not on the self-introduction, but on the In the News, on the informative, on the persuasive, and on the personal experience and brief opinion speech, which is the same speech. The journal is a free writing response based on your impression of 3 of your peers. And I give you some guidelines. I ask you if they were engaging the audience. Did they engage the audience? You can engage the audience through your voice, through your energy, through your eye contact, and through your sincerity. You get people interested. The more interested you are in your topic, the more interested we'll be as well. So that's one way. Then I ask about poise and posture. Were people slumped down, looking down, or were they making an effort to be a little bit more positive? What did you enjoy about the presentation? And if you could change anything, what would you change? Now, oftentimes, students will write down something that wouldn't be possible in a 4 to 6 minute speech, like, I wish they had more visual aids. Well, sometimes it's not possible in these speeches, but in the future. So you could answer it that way, if in the future, but you don't have to answer every one of those questions. Those are just guidelines. So you tell me how you feel. 3 students, 3 paragraphs, 1 for each student, and you've done your journal. And the students you're talking about never see it, because again, it's for you. It's for you to be the teacher. Because oftentimes when you start looking at someone else and say, gee, they need to have more energy, or I wish they looked up a little bit more, it reflects on you. Because if I tell someone to do something, I say, am I doing it? So it's really a way to learn twice. That's the video for today. Thank you so much for your self-introductions. I'll try to get the others back on Monday when I talk to Voice Third. Thanks for understanding. I know some of you wrote to me to tell me, yes, you understand. People mess up big time, and I feel terribly because it affected you. But we move on. We move on. And I hope that you will do the same. Thank you for your graciousness and your generosity. And this is Sunday, and it's in July, so I hope you're having a good day. I think it's July 21st. So the summer's fleeting. It's just going so quickly. All right. Ciao, Bella, everyone. Thank you for listening.